Sam George, I'll take it from where he left off, where he does indicate, and I think it's on a very positive note, that we are turning around the corner. And the president, of course...
we finished turning around, now we are moving.
We're moving, eh?
Yeah, we turn.
Okay, so we turn...
Ken Ofurata said that, but now you see the figures.
So according to Speaker Dr. Stephen Amoah, we've turned around the corner. We're now moving on the straight and narrow. And why is it that your side of the political divide doesn't want to acknowledge that?
You know, it's interesting how all of a sudden people want to pontificate. The same sticker who sat on TV and was crying.
That's not
true.
Please.
And
that's
fake.
That is fake.
No.
No.
This
one.
He says that.
No, but you said when you said I sat here and insulted, what was it? Keep quiet, else I will knock you.
No.
Keep quiet.
Yes. No. It's okay.
So keep quiet.
Please.
Keep quiet.
Yama owi akwa baba Mansa Media College. Mansa Media College a school power ya TV so any radio so dwumadie. Ya so ye e Kumase atonsu. Baby a uwo bia opese ba Mansa Media College a. Na be hu dwumadie yedi ne hono a. Yentie dwumadie yedi no Mansa Media College.
Say usua bribi wo media mu.
Sam George.
Because of this.
Listen. When he was making submissions, he made references to me that me I insulted Baumia.
Sam George.
I kept quiet. So keep quiet.
So don't insult him next time.
Sam George. Dr. Stephen Amoah.
When a child is being stubborn, you knock the child.
Please close the report for me. Let me make a statement. Let me make No, wait. Please, I want to categorically state that as always as we do, let's all have a let's all make our comments as friends, whether we belong to the other side of the political divide or in the general civil society space or academia, etc. And I'm hoping that he said, "I'll knock you" in jest. But Sam George, that was not a very good comment.
When a kid is misbehaving, you know
we shouldn't condone that. We don't.
Listen. But if you don't keep him quiet, I'll keep him quiet.
No, it's okay. Please. So Stephen Amoah, Doc.
My lawyers will write to him. Because this is assault. Go and define assault in tort.
I hope you realize my time is not reading because I will not accept this.
No, that's okay.
Or imminent battery.
Please.
And this is serious.
Educate me in law, no problem like that.
So
but I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
Oh,
so, Sam George, please make your comment. I give you 5 minutes.
One, you can't beat me. But I will not fight.
Yes, that's okay. The two of you shouldn't be treated. You're all members of parliament. Yes. Very good. You're all brothers.
Stop insulting about me. I say you beat me.
So 5 minutes. Then I'll give you extra 7. Please. Please. No comment.
Okay. I haven't insulted Baumia. If someone is
your words are insolent. Your words are insolent. Just admit and then desist. Because he does that all the time. He's my brother. Outside, he's a very fine man.
You said we should have a nice conversation.
Sorry, Sam. I'm sorry.
No comments. And you are promising me now no comments.
No, I'm not commenting. Sorry.
Sam George, you have 7 minutes.
I haven't insulted Baumia. So Obia Bon. Now we'll see what Bon. The punch. If somebody is incompetent, if somebody is clueless at their job, and you call them
man on the continent of Africa is Baumia.
He says don't use such words to describe him.
What Bon saying? Sam, on boy, that one is wrong.
Let's use.
Listen. Sticker and the NPP cannot determine what we say. They sat in this country. And I said, Sticker sat on TV crying about all the things that he claimed were wrong with this country. Today now he says that we should change our corporate image and all the things that he wants to talk about. Listen, let us be very clear in this country. Today, Sticker says you cannot use Côte d'Ivoire because Côte d'Ivoire has no economic sovereignty. Yet the man he worships, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who's appointed you, use Côte d'Ivoire as a yardstick to measure John Mahama and Prof. Samuel. Is that not political? Is that not dishonesty?
In which document?
Is that not intellectual dishonesty?
In which of them? No. But even if he did and that was not right, you will accept that?
Roland, if you don't control him, I will stand up and walk off the show. I will stand up
his
and walk
words
off
are
the
too-
show. If you don't control sticker, if production cannot control sticker, I'm making this clear. If he interjects me again, I'll stand up and leave the show. Because when he was speaking, I was quiet.
Please go ahead.
Now, I sat here and listened to all the intellectual dishonesty that has been displayed here by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Nhyieaso, telling you today that unless he sees the methodology, the research model, he can't speak to an economic intelligence unit report. The same EIU report that his party used and spoke to say that they were winning 2016 and that they were winning 2020. When he gets his speaking notes from his party's communication wing, do they show him research statistics? When he made reference to World Bank figures for 2017, 2018, did you see the documents from the World Bank before? You see, when you are faced with the facts and you have no response, you engage in all the intellectual dishonesty and gymnastics we've seen on display here this morning. Listen, I will repeat for evidence and for the fact. And if you doubt me, go and read the president's speech. You said the president spoke about the depreciation of the cedi. I dare and challenge you to read what exactly the president said from the Sona. It's your own president. I'm daring you on this show. Read it and let us see where the president explained the causes for the depreciation of the cedi in his State of the Nation address. I'm daring you. But let me repeat again, whether you like it or not, that in 2016, when John Mahama was leaving power, the cedi was 4 cedis to the dollar. Today, it is 13 cedis to the dollar. That cannot be turning around the corner and going forward. That in 2016, inflation stood at 15.4%. Today, it stands at 23.5%. In fact, food inflation is 27.1%, even with your planting for food and jobs. These are facts you cannot dispute. You say I sat here and put out numbers and figures that are untrue, and you think that is not an attack on my personality? Whereas the figures I am stating are coming from your own budget of 2014, but I'm 2024. But I'm not surprised. The NPP doesn't read. They only come here to regurgitate what has been given to them as speaking notes. He doesn't read their own budget. If he reads his budget and had read the appendices, a PhDs, I mean, Charlie, look, don't use someone having a PhD. We've seen people who have PhDs and realize that what they say is not even worth a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. But listen, the rate of inflation
in actuarial science finance,
inflation
don't joke with it.
in December 2022 went as high as 54%. There is no doubt about that. It is not my own creation that the lending rate in Ghana of 35% is the highest in Africa for the second year in a row. That is not my creation. Those are facts and statistics that Sticker cannot dispute. It is not incorrect that our debt to GDP ratio in 2016 was 56%, and that at the end of December 2022, it was 103%. This is fact. It is not my creation. It is not my creation that Ghana's current credit rating is baller, junk status. I am not saying it. The World Bank, the credit rating institutions, that's how they are rating Ghana's credit status. Junk, baller. I am not the one saying it. It is not my own creation. That growth rate in 2016 was 3.6%, and that today, under the NPP, it is 2.8%. It is not my own creation that in 2016, manufacturing grew by 7.9%. In 2023, it grew by negative 1.0%. It is not my own creation that industry grew by 4.3% in 2016 and grew by negative 1.2% in 2023. It is not my own creation that the construction sector grew by 8.4% in 2016 and grew by negative 5% in 2023. These are not my own creation. It is not my own creation that for the young people in Nhyieaso who have been battered by unemployment, that per the Ghana Statistical Service, the Living Standard Survey 7, published by the GSS, 8.4% of Ghanaians were unemployed in 2016, and that by September 2023, it is 14.7% of our population that is unemployed. This is not me. The unemployment in our country today stands at 30%. Look, I tell you what, a media house has done a fantastic job to take the Sona and do a breakdown of all the key words. And I'm going to run through them. The 2024 Sona had 11,709 words. Elections were mentioned 10 times. Tax was mentioned 6 times. Jobs, 6 times. Road, 6 times. Corruption, 0. Economy was mentioned 4 times. Free SHS, 8 times. Education, 18 times. Security, 17 times. Galamsey, which is perpetrated by the president's party, the most in this country, 0. Performance tracker, 6 times. IMF, 3 times. Digitalization, 10 times. Debt, 11 times. Unemployment, which is the number 1 issue going into the 2024 election, 0. The president did not mention corruption. He did not mention galamsey. He did not mention unemployment in his entire speech. Again, I am daring Sticker to show us a single mention of any of these 3 words. Look, when a president gives you the state of the nation, when we are clothed and surrounded by acts of corruption, blatant acts of corruption, where we are told that $12 million of our money was paid for a Japa, where we are told that as we sit now, 1.5 billion Ghana cedis of our revenues from ECG were given to PDS, where we are told that $2 million was taken from our money and spent on SkyTrain, where we are told that Bawumia, the protege of President Akufo-Addo, is using digitalization as a means to enrich himself and build a war chest for his campaign, where we are told that we have lost $2 billion to the PDS scandal alone. Someone sits here. After we have misplaced priorities, we have spent $54 million to build a hole, the world's most expensive hole, in the name of a cathedral. I'm not surprised. A president whose party is adorns of galamsey, why would they not try to practice galamsey in central Accra by digging that hole for $54 million? What national cathedral? A hole for $54 million, and that is why the president could not mention corruption. That is why the president could not mention galamsey. That is why the president and Bawumia could not look in the young faces of young Ghanaians and not tell them. The OSP says that the president is fighting him. Corruption has fought the president of Ghana and won. The corruption has floored Akufo-Addo and put him and Bawumia on their back.
To the president of the Republic.
If corruption had not beaten Akufo-Addo and Bawumia and put them on the floor, he would have been able to speak about corruption. I say President Akufo-Addo did not mention corruption once in his State of the Nation address. President Akufo-Addo did not speak about youth unemployment. Never one time, not once, talk about youth unemployment. The youth of this country voted for President Akufo-Addo because he promised them that he was going to give them jobs. He promised them that he was going to pay their rent for them. President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have been dishonest. They have lied to the youth of this country, and the youth of this country are pained. As a young man, I speak. Sika is not a young man. He won't understand the issues of the youth. I understand the issues of the youth, and I will speak as a young man.
No, please. So let's not go there.
Have you looked in the mirror?
Look at the
Have you looked in the mirror?
No, please. He's a young man.
Everything about is in
The reality. Yeah, so let me wrap up and let him stop interjecting me.
But stopping.
The fact is simple. You can choose to play emotional blackmail and say someone is insulting. Hey, the young people of our country, Bawumia and Akufo-Addo promised you that they were going to pay rent for you. They promised you that they were going to give you jobs. They have failed to give you jobs. They have not given you any employment. They have enriched themselves, enriched their cronies. The president came to parliament and was fighting his own chairman of the finance committee, Kweku Kwarteng, for not passing tax exemptions for his cronies. The president is interested in parliament approving $1 billion. $1 billion. This is not 2 minutes. Why? What time are you using? I'm using Bawumia's time. Look, the president is interested. The president is interested.
I am hosting. I say your time is up.
Listen, the president is interested in parliament, and I'm landing on this, Roland. The president is interested in us giving tax exemptions of $1 billion to his own friends and family and cronies. The same way he already forced parliament to give exemptions to his wife's brother-in-law. His wife's brother-in-law.
What are you talking about?
Puma Hotel. Listen, we gave exemptions for Spoon. Even Chamber Port in that hotel, we've given tax exemption for it. That is what the president is using tax exemptions for. And the young people of this country don't have jobs. They've not paid rent for them. They failed on all the promises to them. And you sit here, and when we call the president and his aplanque mate Bawumia out, you say to me that I am insulting.
Yama Owi Akwababa, Mansai Media College. Mansai Media College a school, power, a TV so, any radio so, dwumadie yasoye e wo Kumase atonsu baby a wo bia o pese ba Mansai Media College na do hu dwumadie yedi ni hono a yentie dwumedia edino Amansan Media College
se usua bribi wo media mu ana opese ohunu bribi biara efa media ho enso eche kra
Amansan Media College ewo homa
ye wa achechefo a wakwadiri yie wa adetwe mu na in studio ni ye newsroom de editwam wonsam twemu no ye twe bribi ti se kasebo akenkan ni sinitwa ni bebura ekeka ho wa multimedia mu nso ye twe bribi ti se sini mfoni asiesie mfoni nitwa ni bebura ekeka ho ye betumi nso aboa ama wo de na otwepe asunya bribi wo nkitahodie adwuma ahodo nyinaa mu esan se ye wo yankasa foni nti abwe biara ye ma ya adesuafo kwan ma okọ yode ya twerɛ won adesua dan mu no
ahwefo ehu ekame ese obi biara wo le bosomtwe ase enim abakosema efa nsuo yi ho menya abofra ketewa bi wa ha ono so se onim abakosema efa le bosomtwe ho
abusuafo ye mama kwaba eba Ghana Pages TV so emra so se the trending issues ne ekoso ewo abefo tentan fidie ni so ebesomo midin na naje wa akode
Amansan Media College ya ma de we hia bia wo nkotahudie mu